coffee time. We're eliminating sugar from our diet, which means no sugar in my coffee. I'm not sure how it's going to fly. So, I saw something. OGGM going over some article about the golden age of RPGs is over. We are in a group of people who play something that's literally called old school Renaissance, and we're talking about if the golden age is over. A Renaissance or revival pretty much says it was already. Golden age is with a new age of exploration and new heights, and everything was new and interesting. It's been rehashing, reinventing the wheel for a long time. The golden age was the 80s. The golden age was the 70s and 80s. The decline was the 90s. That's why we play games that are inspired by and based upon rule sets from the 70s and the 80s. So we already know the golden age was then. There's a group of people in society who truly believed that there could have never been anything greater than what they've seen and experienced right now, and that this is the pinnacle. It's extremely chauvinistic, and I'm actually okay with chauvinism. So whether it's Western or male or whatever, but the games were better because they were new and exciting and interesting, and we were forging stuff from nothing then. Now you have a degraded product, in my opinion, that is built upon the shoulders of giants whom they scorn, and they have better marketing, they have better reach because of what we're doing right now, the interwebs, which is a two-edged sword in my opinion. And it looks nice. A picture of a piece of shit on high glossy is still a picture of a piece of shit, just because it's nice and shiny and has better production quality. Doesn't change what it is. And that's the problem with all these new game designs and new games that modern gaming has. It's a lot of crap, in my arrogant opinion. And they say as the popularity fades, the hobby will suffer. I posit that if you are playing D&D or playing one of its multitude of derivatives, or you're playing a tabletop role-playing game because it's popular, you're not really playing it for the game. It's filler until the next fad comes along, whether that is a video game resurgence, some people making LARPing a thing again, or but a lot of these anxiety terminally online people could not deal with being that social with all their little foibles or whatever. Imagine the pronoun chaos at a fucking LARP thing where people aren't even pretending to be people. What am I talking about? That's Seattle. Retards. So yeah, the golden age fell a long time ago. when people like Arneson and Gygax were forced out of their own creations. And then there was tons of other stuff. There's always been science fiction. There's always been wargaming. There's always been this other stuff. These people were just too short-sighted, and I think that a lot of modern people, and that's predominantly like millennials and younger, whatever, you can all, oh, the old man screaming at the wind, whatever, kiss my ass. They don't see things past 5 to 10 years. Like it's not real to them. Like history is somehow an abstract. I think it's weird. But hinging everything on how well Watts and Hasbro are dealing with the D&D brand, and it's just a brand now. It's not really been D&D since 2nd edition came out, in my opinion, and it totally wasn't after 3. It was a completely different game system. The decline's been here for a long time, and that's why you guys crawl the internet looking for old guys like me to run games. But your modern games, their mindsets are a little bit different. Challenge isn't there, in my opinion, or it's all about let's RP, going to town and buying a horse for the next 30 freaking minutes. We've always had people like that in the hobby. They were just kind of a minority, and now they're the norm where everybody wants to RP being a barista. I don't think so. I think people want a good hero's journey, which is being poo-pooed by the film industry and all these other people. They don't understand what the hero's journey is, and that's all you really need is a good hero's journey. Or, let's be honest, a lot of people I play with are just bloodthirsty tomb robbers, and they're just wanting to get the fat loots, get the magic items, get more powerful, blah. Woo! Keep that RP to a minimum. I'm a minimalist when it comes to RP, and I will change my DM style to match that for the players. If the player's not wanting to get into depth about it, then okay, we're not doing it. And I'm not doing funny voices. I'm not a professional voice actor. My accent messes with people I play with right now online. Play with a bunch of Europeans, usually on Fridays, and their accents get me sometimes, and my accent really throws everybody for a loop. But the golden age, yeah, that was the 70s and 80s. We are part of a revival, ergo, we acknowledge when we jumped into the OSR that the golden age had passed. And that we are building a new enlightenment period, right? So you could say the OSR is the top of enlightenment when it comes to game design and stuff. And then you're still going to have these other people running these different types of games, and now they're going to be playing with what dice to use. And I do think that the D12 is underused, and that's kind of a cool thing, and that the power of the bell curve should be more explored instead of using a single die drop for skills, abilities, and combat. But I also don't want to overcomplicate my system, therefore I keep it simple to the 70s and 80s. And that's why I draw my inspiration. And I do like a better format here and there, but you know what? The format is not going to take away from me getting a game that I play. I currently only run like 3 systems. Period. And I'm not interested in a new system. I'm not interested in new people in the hobby. And I'm not interested in dealing with the lunacy that is the modern world, on average. So I run Old School Essentials. It's the AD&D Lite. That Labyrinth Lord could have been. I was happy just playing Labyrinth Lord forever. James Proctor went nuts. David, whatever his fucking name is. And dropped it like a bad habit. It got no support for ages. And they doubled down on Pace Setter and a few other games and just let Labyrinth Lord to the creators who held that up for an entire decade. They did nothing. They dropped the ball on that. And I also play Wretched for all my modern stuff. If I want a modern game with 3E light feel. You seen the pattern here? BX with AD&D light features, and then a modern game with 3E light features, keeping it light so the game progresses quickly and everybody has fun. What other games I got? Man, I think that's really it. I read, someone gave me a copy of Horde Wars, and I did not like it. It just reminded me of it's OSR adjacent, my period. People who were missing the power creep and power level of the 3E system, which is where I really checked out on gaming. I just did not like it. But the Wretched verse where they cap it at 5, right, the points you put in, it prevents that numberitis, that power creep, which I wish I'd thought of that myself years ago. Crap, I think those are the only 2 games I'm playing. Oh, Beckby. The cat game gets canceled so much, I don't know if it counts as playing it. So my Beckby game, is going to open up a slot for another project I got. And I play Lamentations, which is a BX. It's a BX game. It's not even AD&D Light, it's straight BX. But the Golden Age. Yeah, that was 70s and 80s. I mean, I'm not repeating myself. I'm all messed up with this new diet. Oh, new lifestyle. I'm ketovore right now, and I'm sliding into a carnivore diet, which we'll see how that goes. I mean, I'm going to miss my taters. But if you agree or disagree, you can comment. I don't care. So, I was there when the rings were crafted. And technically, I came into the hobby late in the early 80s when it's been flourishing since probably 74 and stuff. So even I wasn't there when it was original. That's just your Midwest crew. Them long winters have a bonus. Long winters give you time to think, more books to dive in, and it gave us a great game. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Gary. I think I've rambled too long on that. It just hit a weird nerve with me, and I'm like, yeah, it's definitely a decline. And it's like our modern society. It's got all the polish, better format. It has a better look. It's shiny and new. But I like my stuff rough around the edges. I like my stuff vintage, like myself, the gray man. Just because it's being pumped out now does not mean it's better. It just means it's newer. And that's not necessarily an indication that something is superior to what came before. There's a reason people dig around for ceramic cooking stuff that's 40, 50 years old. Because it's better, it lasts, it's durable forever. It's made with better care and quality. Same with my cast iron. If I got the choice of picking up a cast iron pan that was made this year in Tennessee, or one that's 100 years old, I'd probably give me the one that's 100 years old, which I have. A lot. I like my cast iron. I don't like all this. It need to be properly seasoned. Durable. So durable. And now we're switching over to earthenware mugs and ceramic stuff. It's odd. Yeah, perfect example. But anyway, game well, game often. Don't worry about what the industry is doing. We don't need any of it. You can make everything up for your game at your table as you go along. As long as you make notes and you and your players kind of agree on it, you're good.